indisputable truth and the arati, the unshakable facts,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
right? So we come, we teach, they learn, and they awaken. The great mother going back on her feet.
Yeah.
Ain't
One
no
way or
doubt
the other.
about it. One way or
One way or
another,
the other.
by hook or by
Yeah.
crook, we will
By any
burn this
means
mother
necessary.
down if she ain't getting what's hers. My mama said, "Don't let nobody take nothing from my sisters and my brothers." And I
Yeah, Big
seen that
Mama put in place.
my sister's planet was being held hostage. So I had to find out who did it, how they did it, why they did it, where they done it at, right? And then I had to reverse it, turn that shit around on their ass, telling the people step by step, this is what they did, so we had to do this. So under the Indigenous Rights Act, knowing that I'm organic to the land with the blood and the rights, I canceled their contracts because Big Mama told me to. She told me to get the imposters off the land. Then I got the message from mothers all across the land that's telling me the same thing, right? And it culminates in the dream when I'm called by three kings, three
Go
sky
ahead.
chiefs.
Go
And the
ahead.
three sky chiefs is the three high chiefs that called the low chief to come up to the top and do some work.
Go ahead.
They call it sheep dipping in military science, taking the
Okay. Go
person
ahead.
from their specialty but using them where you need them in the time of war. Big Mama told him, y'all gonna keep pushing him to the side, but you're gonna need him sooner or later. And here I am.
Yeah.
I didn't gripe, bicker, complain. I just laid down my motherfucking hand and told the truth.
No,
Standing in
Big Bump.
position to right, letting thunder fly. So prepare for what y'all about to see because we almost to the grand finale now. We can go to Q&A from here, Elder.
Hey man, people said they don't really got no questions. You done cracked heads and twist caps and put niggas in the comas, man. With this every time, like every little piece, it's just you steady building onto this building. I'm calling it the Roy Hayes building, right? I believe, hey Roy, I believe you one of the last masters I supposed to sit with. I supposed to sit with you to get this part. You one of the last masters. Now I get now it's a like I'm on a whole nother level now with all the shit you've been giving me. I'm
Man,
on a whole nother level, bro.
I can't wait to sit and talk to Malachi and Farrakhan, Larry Hoover, Jeff Ford at the same time. Man, can you
Man, now
imagine that
that's going
conversation?
man, I give my
I'll be
whole
in
check to see this.
conversation on heaven.
I'll give my whole check to see
I'll
this.
be in
That's gonna be
conversation on heaven.
man, you know, hey, you got hey, them boys will be so spooked out about that. Them alphabet boys, they'll be man. You remember I saw a video with I think it was Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. They went in the back room and talked, and then they came back out and they was asking them, "What did y'all talk about?" And they said, "Oh, we ain't telling
That
y'all.
was
We
Muhammad
talked
Ali.
about Muhammad Ali.
That was
Yeah, it was
Muhammad
Muhammad
Ali.
Ali. Yeah, that was Muhammad Ali. That was fire." I say
Yeah,
Muhammad.
he's like, when your president go in and talk to Khrushchev, we don't ask you what y'all was talking about in there.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
When you want
yeah.
to ask us?
See, yeah. See, they what what they messed up though. They stopped us from that when they started watching us, with the COINTEL Pro and everything. So when we started meeting up, they watch us. But now they caused a bigger. It's everything is spreading a bigger way now. It's like all we got to do is get the minds to agree and overseeing what you saying, and all we gotta do is think it. Once we start thinking on this frequency, the big mama energy, this shoe tough nut resonance, once we start thinking on that level, everything fall into place mentally first, and then everything else go into place. Once we got our mind together on what everything you saying, with everything that ancestors been teaching. Once we got our mind on that, we're gonna be that's what gonna make us win right then. We already won though. I feel like we already at the last about to cross through the ropes and break the rope for the finish line, man. We right there, bro. Now all we doing
Mm-hmm.
now is removing the parasites. Removing the parasites. It's what Trump was
Nothing
everybody we
personal.
yeah, just get rid of the parasites. That's it.
Yeah,
The
nothing
ones that was
personal.
feeding off of us. Hmm. Man, so everybody's saying this right here was fire, man. It says, can you tell Raw I had a dream about him? We were talking in my mama's living room and a big bald eagle landed on his shoulder. Can you ask him what does that mean? What was that about?
Which shoulder?
Hey, which shoulder was it? That was Ja. Which shoulder was it? Was it Ja Mira? Mira. Oh yeah,
So
ain't
the
no
bald
cheap. He
eagle is
cheap, man. Go ahead.
yeah, the birds of prey
Right shoulder.
represent different. Okay, birds of prey represent different types of chiefs, and the bald eagle is the high chief's symbol. So the right shoulder is so the bird land on the right shoulder. That's where my totem symbol is, telling me that the chief is coming in off the right in order to get my attention. When you say coming in off the right, that means coming in righteously. So it's a return to the ancient ways.
That's
I
fire.
used to see elders in horseback. When I close my eyes, they be standing there on horseback looking, and I hope what the hell? What?
Yeah.
But they was just reminding me of my responsibilities and my duties. My
I'm
discovery make me obligated to the collective clans to tell the people what was done to us to undermine the great mother and take her from her position on the land. So when you understand um, ritual magic, then you get to see the magic that was done, the curses that was laid upon us to keep us from ever getting free. But remember, it said that the first should be made last and the last shall be made first, right? But the first still got to come back to the front because they the only ones that's going to be able to fix it. So those which was the last became the first under the white man's burden through the Catholic Church being the enforcement arm in the kingdoms of the Babylonian Empire, which trace us back to the doctrines of Enlil's sons, Ninner sin, which is the law of sin, which is the blood rights, the sex magic, and the money magic. And then it takes us to his other son, who was his general, that was using the chemical warfare. We talking Marduk,
yeah.
right? And the chemical warfare came in the forms of strange diseases that had never been seen on Earth before. And that's what they was giving us with smallpox laced blankets.
For all the information and everything that you give out. I have some questions. I wrote it down.
All right, let's go. Let's get some black girl magic learning up in here.
Okay, so my first question is about human emotion and the release of it. Is that a normal thing as one continues on through their ascension process? Because I find myself like when things happen, like in the news, like I hear about something happening, let's just say, right? And I'm all like, my first thought is like, damn, what did they do in the past life that that they going through this? So it's not necessarily, oh my God, the kids, oh my God, what happened to them? It's more like, what is your soul trying to learn? So is that a natural thing that's supposed to happen, or am I just like going too far deep into it with losing the human?
So you looking at it from a multi lifetime event, culminating with the event you're observing, because you tying it to their karmic debt. You sensing that somebody is getting exactly what they was asking for.
And I always tie it back to we ask, or we, how can I put it? Everything that is like we ask to go through that process. So it's just basically taking responsibility for the things that happen to us or through us and the experiences that we go through. So, okay.
Yeah, so some of those events are exaggeration
Mm.
of the event in order to trigger an emotional reaction. If you a natural bullshit detector, it won't work on you.
Mm-hmm.
And it can't draw your sorrows out of you for the event because you can read behind the scenes of something else going on.
Yes.
So DJ Quick got a verse in one of his songs from the 90s saying Columbine ain't nothing new. In Compton, they shoot up schools too.
Yeah.
They cruise through trying to see who's wearing red and who's blue.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't get the international sensational attention drawn to a. But the first victim they're going to show is this little blonde haired, blue eyed girl or boy that was so fucking cute as a button. Yeah, so all of those are rituals. The sensationalism of the tells you where they want your attention focused at. It's the David Copperfield finna make an elephant disappear. It's on the marquee. The great illusionist, David Copperfield, makes elephant disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we get ready to go into the doors. Everybody's saying before they go in there, I'm going to see the trick. So they already know by reading the sign, it's an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't finna make no fucking elephant disappear. But he gonna make it look like the elephant disappeared. So now everybody swear they not gonna get tricked. And then the curtain come down and the elephant fucking gone. Where'd he go? I thought you said he wasn't gonna trick your dumb ass. So one of the 6 senses of a female when she becomes a mother, she becomes a human bullshit detector because it's a defense mechanism to protect her children from people with bullshit on their mind.
Mm-hmm.
She get a sensation in the pit of her stomach, and then she asks herself, what the fuck is that? And then she hear the voice of her big mama say, don't trust that nigga around your kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same thing when you see these sensationalized events. Why you don't respond the way they want you to, because your mama's senses is turned on. And you know, every one of these kids is classified as bipolar under the care of a psychiatrist or psychologist. Anybody study MK Ultra know that they do sleeper soldiers and they narcotize them in studies, and they found it was the most effective sleeper agents to activate.
Mm-hmm.
That's all MK Ultra information from the 50s. And they running the shit on us in the 90s and the 2000s. Right? So then they can send their sleeper cells to do the dirt. It's a false flag event, but people really got hurt.
Yeah.
So then they sensationalize it in order to draw your attention away from the elephant they about to make not disappear.
Mm-hmm.
That way you can't see where your shit at.
That's deep. Well, another thing I wanted to ask you was about one of your laws. You said that, or you call yourself Thoth or Tahuti. So I was like, why aren't y'all asking him about what he wrote down? So one of your biggest things that you wrote down that boggles my mind is all truths are but half truths.
Because most people take sides. You can't see the whole problem. There's 2 sides to it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't see both sides, you can't see the whole truth.
But I'm taking it or I guess I'm looking at it wrong, because I'm looking for like an absolute truth. And so when I hear all truths are but half truths, I'm all like, I can't make it absolute,
Right.
because it's only half of, you know.
And the maxim of Thoth says that you are the only absolute, the source from which you came. All other things is one side or the other of a reflection of that absolute truth. The balance is the only way to see both halves of the half truths. The dark side and the light side. The left hand path and the right hand path.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to remain on the straight and narrow. When you follow what's in your heart, you can see that the half truth, what the other half is. So that's why all things are but half truths. It's like Noble Drew Ali said it. He said, man, is truth and falsehood strangely mixed. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Reality is based on the manifestation of the thing that doesn't really exist. Everything we see in the 3D world ain't nothing but a conglomeration of atoms.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't really there.
So this goes back to the concept of this reality being all mental. It's basically
it's a mental projection from a group of gods to create a holographic reality. The layout is Metatron's cube.
Okay, which is a square.
It's the star of life.
Okay.
The 6-point star in the circle, but it's really the star of life. It's two pyramids interlocking with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the holographic imagery that begins the foundation to build on. Now, we're creating a hologram, but the collective of the gods have to agree to maintain the hologram. So these are what we call the 4 pillars of the earth, which is the 4 great gods of the earth, which is Isis, Osiris, Tahuti, and Ra. Right? So the great mother and the great father raised the wise son, right, to reflect the great father Ra. As a son on earth, we produce as the sky, mother creator, Big Mama, produce as the center of the solar system. Right? So the gods collectively hold the hologram in place. And then when the hologram comes into disorder, then the gods manifest in human form to inform the humans of how to restore order. When they get the message has to reach critical mass of the chosen ones to redeem the clans and to make everything reverse back. It's a reset.
Is this happening like, is this what we would call the epoch?
Yeah.
So every 24,000 years, it resets over? Okay, that's what I was thinking.
And that's why in the book of Thoth it said, I won't be back for some thousands of years.
Yeah, okay, cool. One thing I was noticing is when I was meditating one time, I came up out of meditation and I wasn't using my third eye. I was using these 2 eyes, and I saw the number 3, and it was going down, like looking like how the Matrix is set up, that green line stuff. Was I seeing the code? The streamer? I was actually seeing the code of the room that I was in? Okay.
Well, you were seeing the streamer. The streamer was answering something that you put in the energy field. You were psychic sensitive.
Yeah, I figured that.
But you haven't trained your senses.
No.
So when your answers come, you can't translate them. You feel what they mean, but you can't explain it.
Yeah. And it just happened randomly too. Like one day I was just looking at TV. I wasn't even meditating. I looked off to the side and it looked like it was a projector screen, and it was just floating in midair, and I could see what somebody was doing. I could see them talking to the people in their house. I could see that they were looking at TV, the computer, and all this other stuff, but they couldn't see me. Just, you know, what the heck? But it has been so much.
You know, Instagram, the bullshit, y'all.
Am I asking the wrong questions? Have we fought in this war many times?
This war is a long, protracted struggle, but it's only been during this 24,000-year cycle has it been hostile.
Okay. Okay. Is this do we have many agendas when we come down here for like soul growth, doing shadow work, and a whole bunch of other stuff mixed up together?
Yeah.
Okay.
So all of that is what you call your book of life.
Okay. Okay.
Your book of life is your DNA code, right? And by learning who you are and learning to trust and believe in yourself and love yourself, it starts revealing the blueprint in real time, and you reading it as it's happening. This is in my book of life, right? Right.
Yeah.
In your book of life, you have what's called fail safes. You know when they say when the student is ready, the teacher will come?
Yes.
Right. Well, while the student is taking the test, the teacher is quiet. Right? So if you're not stuck, there's no need to communicate with the teacher. You got to do your work.
It still feels lonely though.
That's because you're searching in your heart for your path. That sensation of loneliness comes from being drawn to your path, because can't nobody walk it but you. So the being alone becomes the rule to develop where you want to go.
Right.
That's where you map out your best life scenario. That's where you get to read the final chapter in your book of life for this earth realm. And then you work towards the end from where you at. You fill in the gap. That's part of the learning to love yourself, because while you're looking for validation to relieve the loneliness externally, you can't never validate yourself to be whole, so that it'll automatically attract what you need, and the loneliness won't come into play.
Okay. One more question. I've been having like this feeling, I think it's because of my natal chart. I have a more humanitarian type of vibe going on. And when this new earth happens, what's going to happen to those that don't make it? Are they going to be in like a waiting state and before they're able to incarnate back on here? But it's not going to be a 3D realm. It's going to be a 5D realm, right?
It's going to still look the same.
Oh, okay.
But technologically, it won't be the same.
Yes. And bodies will be different. These avatars will be different as well, right?
They're going to alter over time.
2060 keep coming up for me. I keep getting like completion. I don't know what that means. So just putting that out there. Thank you so much, Rod, for everything.
Okay, you're welcome, sweetie.
Okay. Bye.
So she was talking about the self-work aspects and learning who you is. The goal is to learn how to read your book of life, and then you can follow the pattern to your best life with the least amount of resistance. But if you don't read it, you're going to bump into every obstacle till you get down the right path. So you're gonna either walk the road blindly, or you're gonna open up the path and walk the road and with your eyes wide open, even when they shut, because you have a plan, right? So old saying, those who fail to plan has planned to fail, because you're gonna have a plan whether you develop it or not, right? So when you put all of this shit together, we get a whole nother level of understanding and growth from a spiritual perspective to aid in the overall development of the human. So we going into uncharted territory. So the genetics is a motherfucker, and inviting the right species to complement the DNA in order to correct the birth defect anomalies to prevent people from ascending and balancing these energies. Whew, that's some testy shit. Okay, I got 5 questions. The last new moon of the year, the people who do moon magic would already know what to do for that. If you're not into moon magic, then to spontaneously do the rituals without the training probably won't make much sense. So the problem with the children that's prone to suicide is they going through transitional phases, and nobody told them that the shit's supposed to get hard, so they're not prepared for it. So they drop out of class, basically, is what the suicide is. The Grand Canyon is not connected to Arizona by geography. It's connected by a stargate. There was a stargate in Arizona that came out in Cairo by the pyramid complex. We in Atlantis, Lemuria, a whole different landmass is no longer present. It's under the ice in Antarctica. Shangri-La, I'm not too versed on that one. Listen, there is no philosopher or scholar that existed in the BC period and early AD period that didn't finish their master studies up in Alexandria.
That's right. Go ahead. Hey, this right here book look fire too. The ancient ancient...
This is a collection of 5 or 6 books, maybe 7.
Hey, go ahead, Roy. You got another book you want me to pull up before we go to the next one? While we up in this?
Yeah, you might as well pull up the Holy Science.
Okay, the Holy Science.
So in here he gives you a blueprint of the collective conscious, and when you meditate, how to move through the unconscious. See the man with the beard in the first picture?
Yeah. Damn, bro. How you be knowing all these damn books, bro? You got more books in your head than the damn library, bro.
All sleeping quarters.
Yeah.
Right. So this is the Longhouse of War. That would have been the Gullah Geechee Big Mama that called us over here. She would have had the tribesmen come in and build this longhouse so that we have sleeping quarters at the war.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So we would have had the longhouse, then we would have had the red house would have been for the daughters, and the blue house would have been for the sons. This is how you get your different rites of passage. Then you had babies that was too young to live with the boys, and they stayed extra time in the red house. That became the sons of the red house.
Okay.
These are all traditions around the world that were usurped and organized under ritual rites of secret societies. When you know your culture, when you read it back to the people, they understand what's going on the land. Right? So the Iroquois Constitution was the codified oral speeches that somebody overheard and wrote them down in a longhouse meeting. And that's how they end up with a constitution. The reason the Constitution worked because it was a blood right oath.
Okay.
And the blood right tied us to the George Washington challenge because the Constitution, the original Constitution, was taken away and rewritten in the blood of a guy named Crispus Attucks. Type him in.
All right, Crispus Attucks.
Yep, Crispus Attucks.
They spell that last name Attucks.
You gotta spell his first name and last name will pop up. Crispus.
I got you.
Yeah, there you go.
What?
First one. That one.
A Nubian brother.
You see the one right there with the writing on it to tell you a little bit about him? Yeah.
Yeah, free black man living in Boston.
Blow that up.
All right, let me see. Can I blow it up for you? Can't go for that free black man joint no more, man. They hustle on. That's that hustle game. Yeah, free black man living in Boston during the time of Boston